Alright, here we're going to use some good old-fashioned Elmer's school glue, and we're going to use this to mask off the spots on the disc that we don't want to dye, kind of like a vinyl. So right now I'm going to do basically the whole fish, the shark, so that way I can come back and do the shark afterwards. And we're going to use a toothpick to just kind of move some of that glue into the spot that we couldn't get right up in with the tip of the glue bottle. Get all those finer spots. All I'm doing is just getting glue on the tip of the toothpick and then just dragging it as far as I need. What we're pushing it to is just on to the edge of the foil stamp. And that should mask off everything we need to mask off. So, these dots. Bubbles. Bubbles. Okay, now that my edge is done, I'm going to just go through and fill the rest in with glue. Alright, and the great white's done. We'll let that dry overnight probably. And then tomorrow we'll put this in some lotion. Now to do this guy. This one's gonna be a tough one. And that's what I'm going to mask off on the angler. So, we'll come back to these tomorrow and throw some dye at them. Alright guys, here we are. It's the day after we did our glue masks. You can see that the glue stayed where we wanted it to stay, and that way when we dye, it only dyes everything around it, and the glue keeps the parts of the stamp masks that we want to keep masked. Okay, so for the angler, I think I've decided I'd do a shaving cream burst dye, and then for the great white, we're gonna do a lotion dye. So for this angler, we're gonna do shaving cream dye. Something a little different than what we've done before, but pretty much the same. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little bit of shaving cream here. It's not gonna be a pie like we normally do. We're we're gonna do a mound. It's gonna be a burst pattern on this one. Like I said, just to do something a little different. That first shaving cream dye video we did was just a regular shaving cream pie with dye added onto it. This one is going to be a little different. Alright, here's our bed. We're going to take all this and we're going to throw it right there in the middle. Because we're not doing the actual pie shape, you don't need a whole lot. What we're going to do is we're going to make a mound shape. We're going to just kind of like a cone, if you will. My manual turntable that I made myself. Set that off there. Wet it down a little bit so it spreads easier. That should work. Try to smooth it out as best you can so that way there's no air bubbles or anything when you press down into it. There we go. That should work. We can possibly make it smoother if we wanted to, but we're not going to. So, now let's get some colors out. I am going to use black, blue, turquoise, and some green. The best way for this particular method is to use a paintbrush and dab it a little bit into your color. Make sure you don't have too much on your brush. Do that, dip it in, and then I'll tap it a little bit. And then just give it a little tappy tap around. That's all you need. You don't need a whole lot. You would think you need a lot for something like this, but it spreads out pretty good. A lot of coverage off of a little bit of it. Now you can see there's just a little bit. That's my black. Now clean your brush off a little bit. Let's throw some turquoise on there. That's it. That's really all you're looking for in a shaving cream mount. That's all we're looking for. Alright, so now the fun part. It's up to you if you're into spinning it or not. The spinning will actually add to it and everything will kind of rotate out from the center. But you can also spin it as you set it. So I think we're going to try to do that. Let's try. There we go. I was rotating as I pushed down. I just want it on the top, so I'm going to only push down to a certain point. Alright, so now that's the end of that one. Let's start the bed for the great white. Alright guys, on to the great white. Remember we put the glue on the shark itself to mask it off because we're going to do something with that guy later. And that way that doesn't die and everything around is going to die. We're doing a lotion dye on this one. We did a shaving cream dye on the angler earlier. So we're going to do a lotion dye now. We're using just regular lotion. I mean, honestly, if you're doing this monetarily, y'all might want to get some decent lotion, I guess. But if you're just having fun, it really doesn't matter what lotion you use, I think. I feel. Just depends on your preference. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our lotion pie just by dumping some lotion into our pan. Now that that's good, we're going to go ahead and move it around and slap it. Some people take a torch to it, a little butane torch, and go over it to get the bubbles. Some people do the slappy technique. Since I just do this for fun, we're going to do the slap. I'm going to go and take this down here. Alright, that'll work for what we're trying to do, I think. So what I'm going to do is something really weird. Hopefully it works. You guys like it. So I'm going to start with black. I know a lot of people don't like to use too much black because it overpowers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put one line through the middle. And that's all the black we're going to use, because that will go far. Then I'm going to throw a little bit of red on that. Pattern I'm going to do. That works. There we go, a little bit of red. This is going to be super random. We're not doing anything really specific. We're just messing around. I'm going to add some orange. So that is the orange. Now, I think I'll throw some blue in there on both sides of that center and start working our way out from the center. Let's do something like that. There, that looks good. That's going to be fun. Then we'll do a little lilac around that edge of that blue, maybe over the top of it a little bit. Sure, that works. You know, I'm going to throw a lilac through the middle on that. There, that's cool. That's going to be fun. And last but not least, I'm going to add some turquoise to the outside edges of everything. Cool. So that's what I'm going to do. So now is the fun part. We're going to do a drag on that and move all those colors around. Dragging stick. Alright, that's one direction. Now let's go back and pull the other direction and see if we can make something cool with that one. That's pretty cool. Don't hate it yet. Alright, just because I was planning on doing this prior, I'm it. We're gonna add a little more. We're gonna dust it with blue. And this is the same thing I was doing for the shaving cream dye earlier. I'm just gonna add just some more color to it. So all the white spots will have a little bit of blue in them, but not full. Okay. That looks pretty good. I'm digging it. So let's go ahead and let's set this great white in there. I was thinking of having the red and everything, the red and the black line kind of cut across the middle. And I think I'm just going to do that. One thing actually we're going to do before we do that is we're going to see if we can get everything to settle. Because the colors we just put on are higher up than everything else. We don't want bubbles. Everything's kind of flattening it out now. So let's go for it. Like I said, I'm going to have that cutting right through the middle of everything. Okay, that's in. We got a little bit of over the rim right here, so I'm gonna see if I can clean that up a little bit. That actually kind of looks cool. I don't hate that. Alright, that's not bad. That isn't bad at all. So, alright, these guys are ready to sit for a little while. But let's go ahead and move them to heat for a couple hours. So I've been told 2 to 6 hours of heat under, what is that, 125. So what I've been doing, and you can hate on it if you like to, but I like to preheat my oven for a few minutes and then turn on the oven light and then turn the oven off and just let it sit for a little while. It might be a little warm at first, so I might wait for a while to put my discs in there, but eventually I'll put them in there and just let them sit in the oven with the light on, which tends to be enough heat to make this happen. And then, like I said, it's 5 right now. We'll probably be pulling these out at like 11 or 12 at the latest, considering it's star plastic. We really don't need that much time, so we might be pulling them out at 10 or 11. I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see in a little bit when we pull them out. Here we go. Let's take these guys out of here. Guys, well, let's check out what we ended up with. This is the angler. Came out pretty sweet. Remember, we did the angler with a shaving cream mound and then sprinkled dye on it, and I really like how it came out. Now, the one thing that I'm gonna say about this is something happened with the shaving cream or the dye and the foil stamp on this disc. I did not use any acetone or anything like that. I don't know what it could have been, but the shaving cream took some of the stamp away. I'll give you a close-up of that here in a second. But yeah, it did, in fact, eat up some of the stamp. But either way, love how it looks. Can't wait to throw this. This thing is the beefiest thing in the whole world that I've ever thrown. Right into the bag with that one. Get yourself an angler. They are dependably stable. I love it. Now here's the great white. Now the funny thing about the great white is we did a lotion dye with some colors that may or may not have some acetone in them, and we didn't lose any of our stamp. The whole stamp stayed on. But that looks amazing. One thing I had talked about that I was going to do something with the actual shark itself. I thought about masking off the bottom half of it, of the shark itself, and then trying to dye the top half gray or blue or something like that to kind of look like a great white. But I honestly like the way it looks just like that, so I think I'm going to leave it. And also, going in the bag. Now this is a nice beefy disc. I mean, with the 13 speed, that rim is a little big, but it's actually a little less stable than you would expect for a 13 speed. So, there you go. These things look amazing. That's the end of the video.